Welcome to the Miracles in Wellness podcast. My name is Clarissa and I'm a holistic coach and beauty expert. I'm here to empower and motivate you to improve your health and lose weight by adding more whole plant foods into your lifestyle. In addition, kick stress to the curb. So be open to receive because I believe that miracles are for everyone. Hey there, my friend. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day. So today we're going to talk a little bit about slimming down for the summer, all right? So let's get into it. So what I do not want you to do is to fall into that summer weight loss trap. You know, you see it, all these little gimmicks or fads out there like lose 10 pounds in 10 days and just all this craziness, right? It's just a guaranteed way to fail. And then you might start looking inside and we don't want that, right? And so we don't want it to deal with anything that's like a shortcut, okay? You know what I mean? It'll be like fast, effortless weight loss. It just sounds so good to be true, right? And a lot of times it is when you think about it. You can just think about people you know or yourself that you've been on that, and then it just kind of backfired a little bit, all right? And even in experiences where, remember the diet pills that was out? I'm sure there's still diet pills out. But I know years ago, there was like all these fads. I remember seeing like hydroxycut and stuff like that. And all those things would just make you feel jittery for one. So we do want to try to avoid those. Just let them sit on their shelves and collect all the little dust. Just sprinkle some little dust on them. Just let them go ahead and be on their merry little way because we do not want any of those, right? In the beginning, if you have more weight to lose, you might lose more weight in the first week or so, but a lot of times it's going to be like water weight. So just let that go. And so don't feel discouraged if after a month you're losing 1 pound a week. This is good, right? And it's good for you to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. It's not dramatic. Your body has to go through this process of trying to adjust and getting used to it, right? And then anytime you even feel tempted to go down that right, just think about any time in your past where you might have been, I'm going to lose the 10 pounds in 10 days, the 20 pounds in 2 weeks, or whatever it is. There's always like some catchy title out there, right? They're like, ooh, this sounds cute. They're sitting at their table and it's like the marketing department's like, how can we get you? But you know what? You're not going to do it this time. You're not going to fall for any of that stuff because now you know that it's not going to work. So whenever you feel tempted, just think about, did this work for me in the past? And most likely it didn't, right? And if you had a short-term weight loss, that's what it was, short-term. So you don't need to go on something that's restrictive in order for you to lose that weight to stop eating in that manner to gain it back, right? We don't want that. We want to do sustainable weight loss because it's all about our health, right? And so we don't want our health going up and down like a yo-yo, okay? So the same thing for us. Realistically, I mean, when you think about it, just allow yourself like 3 months, right? Just give yourself 90 days. Be like, I'm not going to do 2 weeks. At least start there. I mean, depending on how much weight you have to lose, it's going to be different for everybody, right? So if you've put on an amount of weight in a certain amount of time over the years, don't freak out if you don't lose it all in a certain amount. It's just like setting a goal up for yourself, all right? So, just say 90 days just to start, right? And you can make a significant noticeable difference in yourself if you stick to it over 90 days. You will notice your body changing. You'll notice that physique coming in and all the curves and just all the things getting more accentuated. And you'll be like, oh, yes, I look good. I know I do, right? You'll start feeling all of that. But you should know you look good right now, right? Don't ever think you don't look good because you're amazing and always know that. Regardless. But it's so much bigger than that. But sometimes you do know whenever you have extra weight, sometimes you might be feeling down about yourself. Sometimes people even outwardly have more confidence, but inside when you're at home, you might be feeling different. And that's okay. Don't second guess yourself. Be like, oh, wait, how'd you know that? It's okay. But just know that you can pick yourself up. All right. Let me get back to it. Okay. So another way we can think about it is that our body is always trying to protect us, right? We're always out to protect ourselves. And so there's always that state of survival. And when you lose too much weight too fast, it can be a sign for yourself that it's just not that healthy when you think about it, right? So what we want to do is try to lose weight slowly, right? By focusing on our nutrition and healthy eating and all the components of it, right? And then also when you do it in this manner, it is less likely for you to regain it. Even when you think about those popular shows, I don't know if they still come on. The weight loss shows, Biggest Loser, I think there was like 2 or 3 of them or something like that, right? And they would lose all this weight, right? It was like super dramatic. They say there's studies that say that the majority of those people gain their weight back. And that, that's just probably not the best feeling, right? It's not. How do you feel when you lose all that weight and you get it back? So it's not about dramatic. That's ratings. Your life is not about ratings. It is about you living your best life, right? So you could be there for your family, all of the things. And then besides the reason why, finding yourself a good reward, right? Not rewarding yourself with more food or anything like that. But since it's the summer, right, book a special trip that you want to take, right? Is there somewhere that you haven't been that you want to travel to? Go ahead and book that. Or just something special that will bring you joy. It's going to be different for everybody, right? Go take a trip. How much time are you allowing yourself off? So say you're giving yourself off a month for travel because you work hard and it's time for you to relax with your family, right? So set that goal out, right? And just give yourself as that a reward for you succeeding and hitting your goals, right? That's amazing. And that's something that all of your family can do together. See, that's the beauty of it, right? So it's not just you. And then your family will also feel motivated for you. Be like, yeah, we got to go ahead and do that thing. Right? And then it gets everybody involved. So then they also become more of a support system for you, right? And that's just amazing. So it's not just like, sometimes it's hard when you're cooking or something like that. And you're like, ever feel like you're the only one on this journey, right? You're the only one working on your wellness goals and all these things. And you're like, everybody's always doing these other things. And you feel like you have to maybe bring a dish with you when you're going to eat. Or when people are eating dinner, you have to cook like separate meals, right? Because they haven't transitioned over yet. They will. Just give them time. Just give them that space. Let them come when they're ready, right? And so this way, they will get them more on board, right? Because they're trying to go too, right? Everybody's trying to go somewhere. It doesn't even have to be a trip. I'm just using that as an example because it's just that season when we all just want to get away and enjoy this season, and just find whatever that is. Whether you like the water, whether you like the mountains, they're all beautiful places, right? Or find another venue if you're like, traveling's not my thing. But do find a reward, something to give you that motivation, right? Because it's hard out there sometimes. And look, and alone being an entrepreneur, you're a special kind of person, right? You're a special breed of a person if you're an entrepreneur. Because you purposely put your life on the line to just put out fires, right? Because anything can happen at any given time and nothing is like guaranteed. It's that you don't have that same, cushion, security blanket, right? You can develop that over time, right? You could put systems in place and all of these things to make that more reality. But at the end of the day, anything can happen. I mean, even if you have a regular job, that can happen as well. But when you're an entrepreneur, it's like, boom, this is it. I'm putting myself out there. I'm going up and down, doing all the things. So you know what? You need that trip or whatever that outlet is for you. So sometimes we put our health on the back burner because we're so focused on building and grinding that you put it on the back burner. No, not anymore, sis. You got to do that because you guys got to do all the things that you need to do. And this is very important because when you don't, that's when you start spiraling sometimes. That's when you run to the food or run to the drinks or whatever that is, right? So just being aware of that, right? And whenever you do, for example, go on travel, being aware of your sacrifices. So if you're going out of town for a few days, it might be okay. Now, this also depends on if you have more of a food addiction or not, then you want to be more mindful of what you're eating. And then if you are taking a longer trip, you don't want to go completely off the grid because it's a long time, right? So just knowing why you're doing that, right? Whether it's trying to lose weight for the summer or just something you're trying to build, trying to work on a project, whatever that goal is, right? Just making sure you stay focused to the best of your ability, right? You don't need to be overly strict so you don't feel like you're not enjoying yourself, but you want to be aware of your choices that you're making, right? Because it's all about choices, right? You could always write your list down, be like, today I'm going to do this. And this is the options. This is the positive and negative that's going to happen out of it. If you allow it to happen, just know what you're doing, right? Just be aware of what you're doing. Just be mindful of the objective. So don't think about it as deprivation. Think about the benefits of you are going to get is, say, eating your whole food plant-based meal, right? In many restaurants now, they will already have, their menus are just vast And also a chef might love actually making something different that's not on the menu. Maybe they're tired of making the same stuff, right? You don't know. You do not know unless you ask. Not liking the results when you go home, or just not thinking about it in a way of giving up certain foods, right? And it's not even about you counting calories or being hungry, any of those things. In the past, when you did those fad diets or those crazy diets in 10 days, that was deprivation, okay? Because you wasn't eating something. They told you to not eat a whole food group or just some bonkers, right? So you're not doing that. You're allowing your palate to experience an array of tastes and flavors and layers of food, right? Everything, right? It's nothing but enjoyment there. This is what we want, right? So even if you just allow yourself a couple of weeks, even if you want to break it down smaller, not even thinking about 90 days, and allowing your palate to adjust to the flavors of not having the added fat, the added sugar, the added salt in your food, you're going to taste the difference, right? You are going to adjust. You really will. Like, I don't eat a lot of sugar. So whenever I have something that's like very sweet, it's like, whoa, it's like kind of overwhelming to me because I don't eat like a lot of sugary things. I mean, I'll eat like fruit and things like that, but I notice even when people work with me in a program, it's like that as well. Like once they just go all in and they're like, okay, I'm not going to eat whatever this thing is. Let's say they like their cake or their cookies or chips or all the same. Once they start scaling it back, their taste buds start changing and their palate adjusts. And then you start noticing the actual complexities of the food. And it's just delicious. Just paint the rainbow on your plate. So just enjoying your food, right? And say, for example, if you are traveling, there's not going to be a scale, which you already know I am not a fan of the scale, because of multiple reasons that I'm not going to get into right now. And so it gives you an opportunity to focus more on the quality of your food, right? You can just think of how many whole foods are on my plate. Do I have the rainbow on my plate? Do I have a variety of food on my plate? Do I have a unrefined, unprocessed carb? Do I have some protein? Do I have some healthy fats, fruit, for some snacking? Just focusing on the quality of your food. Am I getting proper nutrients in, right? How do I feel? How does my body feel? And I'm able to keep up with everybody, right? Do I feel like I have to sit down? Do I feel more invigorating? Just asking yourself these questions, right? And you can even write these questions down, at the end of the day, just sit there and be like, have a check-in with yourself. It's always good to check in with yourself. At any moment you need, just do that, Is there time for you to relax and enjoy your summer? It's not about feeling overwhelmed or stressed out or any of those things. Just enjoy, right? Turn your phone off. You can leave it in the room, especially if you have a tendency to check your emails like every 5 seconds. You know what I mean? Don't do it. Just leave it all alone, right? Just allow yourself certain times to do it. And before you go to bed, don't have it out. You never have a tendency to see people at the dinner table, but everybody's on their phone or just watching something. Just enjoy the moments. Be in the present moment. That's beautiful. Just enjoying each other, finding out things you didn't know about. Strike up a conversation with anything. Even if somebody doesn't want to say anything, right? Your kid's on the phone, make them put it away. You got that. You can make them put it away, right? Getting your sleep in. Get at least 7 hours of sleep, especially if you're not at home. You take advantage of all of that, okay? All of it. And just visualizing what you want, having the meditation. You still can have your meditations when you're not home all the time. I think we should definitely have our meditations in there. Visualize how you want to be. See your summer self in your head. So when you're walking, just imagine yourself in that slimmer version, however you see her. And don't forget to always get your support, whether that's some kind of support group, fitness classes. Even if you do like a group fitness class, a lot of times there's like the same group of people that go. You can make friends in there. You guys can cheer each other on. Meetups, all these things you could do. And also finding a good community for support. That's absolutely important. So whenever difficulties arise, it gives you a way to work through it and not by yourself. Sometimes you just need somebody there. The extra support is always wonderful with absolutely everything that you encounter. And you'll always have a support system with us. Come on over to our community at bit.ly/wellbeing group. The link is always in the show notes. And I'm also going to invite you to a live masterclass that's going to be happening. And you can register for that at bit.ly/no need to count. bit.ly/no need to count. And that link is also in the show notes. And so we cannot wait to have you there. All right. So until next time.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for coming by. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on your favorite platform. And also don't forget to leave a written review, as well as share this episode. That's how we spread the message.